Hey guys, Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com. And today we have Dev Gadhvi on the show. We are going to call this show Deep Talk with Digital Deepak, and this is the episode 4. So, Dev is an entrepreneur himself, and he has done a lot of interesting things, which we will discover as we talk about Dev's journey. So, instead of me giving an introduction about Dev, I would like to go ahead and ask Dev to, maybe take us through the journey of how things started. And as we unfold on the journey, we will see what and all the things that you have been doing and what are all the things that you have achieved. So, Dev, tell me, welcome to the show, first of all, and thank you for being in the show. So, tell me, how did your entire journey start, and how this entire path get started? So, take us back in time, maybe when you just graduated from college and things like that.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I am from a very humble family. My dad was a truck driver, and we lived in a very small house. The house was surrounded in all the neighborhood, which was, surrounded with all the drunks and people who gamble, people who fight, people who abuse. So that kind of upbringing that I had. But I was so lucky to have amazing parents who made sure that I don't mingle around with anybody outside who would probably, spoil me because of, all the other things. So that was the upbringing that I had. And I lived in the same house until I graduated. So I was actually feeling shy to even bring my schoolmates and college mates to my house. Only a handful of people will come who know that I live in a poor neighborhood and all. I will actually not call them, and because all the people from the school or college, they were all from well-to-do backgrounds. So I was always shy at that time. So my journey was just like everybody's journey, going to college, getting the graduation certificate. At that time, the BPO was booming. So I started applying for jobs in a BPO. Who else will give a decent job to just a BCom graduate from a small town? So then I moved to Mumbai, started with domestic BPO, who de tumhari kevi itna sahayata kari sakun. That was the opening line that I had. And eventually, slowly, things started, becoming better after getting a lot of rejection and the interview. I started growing in the corporate ladder. And my career in corporate ladder was just like everybody else, I would say, is working hard, taking hikes, changing companies. I changed about 8 or 9 companies in 16 years. So I jumped a lot of companies to take hikes. And I reached a point in 2016, 2017, where I was making 3 lakh rupees a month. And the 3 lakh, I was like, my God, I made it. I made 3 lakh rupees a month, salary, associate director, sales, traveling the world, meeting clients, family, health was good, wonderful. But soon I realized the definition of success that we've been told by our parents and by society, which is more money will make you happy. And that is the definition of success. I realized that is not true. There was something missing. Like I imagine me sitting in office and observing everybody. Everything starts appearing that in slow motion.
Yeah.
Looks like it's a prison. It's a prison. It's just that modern day prison that I cannot do what I want, when I want, how I want. There's no fulfillment. There's no joy. Though I was decent, I would say, not bad at what I was doing in a job in sales, but there was no sense of fulfillment that no, I love this. I enjoy this and I look forward to this. This is why I was born. The meanings of the mission, vision, passion, like these words were alien to me. Like what mission, what vision, what passion? Just go make money and that's about it. Pay bills and that's about it. That is the critical shift that I had in my life when I started reading some books, started watching some videos. It just made me realize that I was suffering from an illness, which I would say 80% of the world is suffering from. And that illness is mediocre mindset. And the funny part is, even the doctors can't detect it, right? There is no injection. Corona can be detected.
Yeah.
Mediocrity cannot be detected. It can be only observed by the people who are cured from mediocrity. So rest of
Mm-hmm.
all, everybody is normal, right? Corona at
Yeah.
least 14 दिन के बाद पता चलता है कि oh, you have a corona within 14 days or after 14 days. Here, after 14 years, we discover that we have a mediocrity. So that is where my journey started, and then one thing led to another, to another, another. So here I am.
Like midlife crisis, like, what's happening, because we end up following the journey that the parents and teachers expect us to, which is to actually climb the corporate ladder. And then we see how we have imprisoned ourselves with the monthly salary that becomes very addictive. They say that the two most important, like the two most addictive things in the world are, one is cocaine and one is a stable monthly salary. People will give up their entire life to just get that safety and security. And when you look at, let's say, UPSC exam applications, we have like 10 lakh people applying, and towards the end we have like 1,000 people going through and actually getting selected. I mean,
Very
like, why? I mean, when the success rate is like less than 1%, why would even people want to go ahead and just fall into it? Is something that baffles, because everybody wants stability, safety, security, and they trade what they could potentially have for something that is quote unquote safe and secure, for that stability, and they end up losing like all the potential that they could achieve. So which is like a very sad thing. And I think some people discover it sooner, some people discover it late, some people never discover it. but but when you discover it, okay, it's okay to be a non-conformist, it's okay to pursue your passion, it's okay to be different, then it feels liberating, right?
true.
I think that liberation came to you after you realized. Okay.
Yeah.
So how did the decision happen? Like, one fine day you just woke up and you said, I'm going to quit my job, or were you doing some side hustle? And, take us through that transition period.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's very interesting because a lot of people, come and tell me that Dave, I can't quit the job. I already have the, loans and I have family and I can't just go, say, not switch off and go to, some new adventure. So honestly, when I started, I did not even know that this can be a career. I just started on social media, just thinking that, you know what? I lived with a mediocre mindset, and I just don't want anybody else to lose their precious time because we all have huge potential. It's just that we use like 2 to 3 potential of our capabilities. So I said, man, I just want to wake people up. I just want to wake up people because when I started feeling the passion, the drive, the motivation, and I started doing more than what I was capable, what I was doing, I realized that life is amazing. I was pumped every day, and I'll go to office, and I like, imagine, usually I wake, go to office, I say, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. That's how I'll go. But after I was driven, I was watching motivational video and I pumped up, watching Grant Cardone. When I now enter the office, I'll be like, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? And we're like, what is happening with Dave? Like, Dave was not like this. I said, man, I'm high on life. Like, are you high on drugs? I said, no, no, no. I'm high on life. And that is the shift that happens slowly, slowly and subtle. It's not like all of a sudden groundbreaking thing. Then it made me realize there are so many people when I look around, they're not driven, they're not motivated, they have nothing to look at when it comes to coming for the work. Why are they coming for work? Right? They're coming with some sadness and mediocrity, and there's nothing in life which is like, oh my god, I'm excited to do this today. So I said, you know what, I need to wake these people up. Like, I experience the joy, I want to give it to others. And that is how the journey started. And no idea how the money is going to be made. Where can I make money from this and business, or no, nothing. I just started. I said, how can I do it? The best ways: make articles, make videos, and share whatever learning that I have. So I started sharing knowledge on sales, and then mindset and beliefs and habits and all that. The window from realization of I'm mediocre to quitting the job, for me, it was about, I would say, year and a half. So 2016, 7, I started realizing that I'm mediocre. It
Mm.
took me about 6 to 8 months to start working on myself. And first, I need to change myself before I help others. So 6 to 8 months, I worked on myself and, watching videos, reading books, investing in programs. Then after 6 to 8 months, in 2017, I started creating videos and content. So 1 year of that, and then I quit my job in 2018, April 2018. So it took 1.5 years to transition from being an employee to becoming my own boss, because by that time I had the followers, I had acquired a lot of skills, I had written a book. It took 18 months to finish my first book, 80% mindset, 20% skills. And then April 2018 is when it all started as a passionpreneur mentor.
Mm, mm, fantastic. So, even I was in different corporate jobs from 2012 up to 2016. Before that, I was dabbling with blogging, but at that time I was single, so there was not much expenses, so I could afford to reinvest all my income back into the business. But once you start having expenses and bills to pay, you need to be in a corporate job. And just like you, I have also switched from one job to another, and I think I have like switched 6 companies in 6 years, and only one company I have like completed entire year. That was when I worked with Razorpay, and I vested my stock options also because I felt that it was a valuable company, and I still have value of that company. But what I did was that I knew that if I quit my jobs and if I have to start something of my own, the bills are still every month, right? And when you're an entrepreneur, the income is like kind of up and down, and sometimes you can't take out a salary from your entrepreneurship journey because you have to reinvest. You have to reinvest into advertising. You have to keep growing your list, and all those things. So I did a trick, which is to basically, let's say my monthly expenses were around 50,000 rupees. If I get a salary of 1 lakh, then I would basically look at it as 1 month of freedom that I can buy for myself. So what I started doing it was that I was like having a target that by 2016 I should become free of my jobs.
Mm.
So every time I had some savings, I put a FD, and I would put the maturity date of the FD in such a way that it is maturing at the first of the month in 2016,
Mm.
January. And then another FD which will mature on February 1st, another FD which will mature on March 1st.
Oh, wow.
So that way you get this feeling of still getting a salary while you can go on with your entrepreneurship journey. So it took me a little bit longer than expected because obviously you end up spending for something else, emergency and everything. So when that happened, the FD that would mature on Jan 1, I would roll it off to the 10 months later. So I had like 1 year of fake salary coming in, where
Genius. That was genius. I would have got that thought.
so it's like even if I quit my job for the next 1 year, every month on the first, I will get like that 50,000, which will take care of my loans, which will take care of my rents, or whatever bills I have to pay. So
Mm.
that way you have basically this 1 year of runway which you can work your ass off, and you
Mm.
don't need to be worried too much about how much money I'm making this month, because entrepreneurship journey is always about long term thinking, right? You need to at least think 1 year 2 year down the line. And now with our business, we are a 10 people team, and we have a runway of 1 year for the entire team. So now
Mm.
we can think long term. We don't need to, like, for example, for Black Friday sale, I just sent out a mail, don't buy anything today. And I can do that. And I can do that because we have like 1 year of runway for the entire team, not just for me. Like if the entire team stops working and the entire revenue stops drying up, we still can survive for 1 year. So now we can start thinking long term. We can start positioning ourselves. So
I,
that
I,
is
I,
one
I
advice for
can
people.
I can actually relate to this, and this is actually genius what you did. I think if people, if you're listening to this, this is all about planning your exit wisely. Like, a lot of you are
Yes.
like, no, what, I'm in a job, I don't know how to exit. Deepak's formula is amazing. Don't go with my formula because I did not have a lot of saving coming in. I didn't have fixed deposit coming. I was horrible at saving and fixed deposit on. But what I did is I built a base of followers. I said, you know what, the day when I quit, I want to go for a high ticket program. When I started my Passionpreneur mastermind, I said, how many people? So I think the first choice, first thing that we all entrepreneurs need to do is when you quit the job, that fat paycheck, the addictive salary, are you well off for next 12 months or not? Minimum. So in my case, I did the calculations that how much money do I need? And for me at that time was like 2 lakh a month I needed for my expenses, my family, my loans, whatever I had at that time. So how do I get 2 lakh rupees? Okay, so I did some calculation. Okay, and I said, what I need a different permutation combination, right? So I need, let's say, 20 people paying me, right? Paying me, let's say, 10,000 rupees is 2 lakh rupees a month. Okay, okay. Or I can have 200 people paying 1,000 rupees. So I did that calculation. I said,
Hmm.
you know what? I think easier. It's easier to have
Yes.
20 people paying 10,000,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I said, and then I cannot have like 1 month. I need to have recurring coming in. Like I cannot have just search 20 people in this month. Oh, where are the next 20 people? Oh, where are the next one? I said, I need to have a consistent flow of income for at least 1 year. And that's why I launched Passionpreneur Mastermind. And I said, you know what? Annual fees is 1,20,000, monthly is 10,000. And I chose few people from all the city from my workshop that I did from my own expense. And that's when I built about, instead of having 20 people join mentorship program, I got 33 people. That was my ticket to freedom. Like I said, okay, good. A lot of people say, Dave, how do I become financially free? I said, you don't aim for financial freedom right from the day one. First aim for
Yeah.
time freedom. Actually, in fact, before even time freedom, focus on financial confidence. The reason why you were able to quit the job, Deepak, is because not only you had the fixed deposit coming in, but you had the financial confidence. You build the
Yes.
skills, you build the knowledge, you
Yes.
build the skills, knowledge. It gives you financial confidence. Then you had the financial. Then you had the time freedom. There's no safeguarding whatever you want, your basic necessities. So that is second is time freedom. Then comes the financial freedom. Once you have the peace of mind, once you have everything covered, once you have the idea, once you have the skill, then you keep building it up. So first year was difficult, but second year doubled, right? So first year after 12 months, I ended up, instead of 33 lakhs, I made about 1 crore in business. Of course, reinvesting a lot in business, saving money for the team. I didn't have the team, but I knew that's a little bit I had to save.
Hmm.
Second year, again, doubling that income, going to two crores plus.
Hmm. Hmm.
This year, going to 7 crores. And next year, again, going to 14 crores. That's the aim. So I think you're absolutely right. This is the path.
Yes. So, in fact, I think that there are two levels of financial freedom. The first level of financial freedom is that do you have enough money in savings, or as I said, liquidating fixed deposits or income coming from a side hustle, as much to make sure that your existing living condition and the quality of living is maintained. So that is one level of financial freedom where you don't need to be, waking up, dressing up, going in traffic, and showing up at a job and meeting a boss and colleagues which you might not be enthusiastic about. Getting freedom from this is the first level, right? And it depends on how much people have bloated up their lifestyle. If people have got into loans, and if they need a vacation, and if they have like a certain level of spending,
You
then
became
if it is high.
slave to all the commoditization that has happened. कि घर ले लो, life settle हो जाएगी. I
uh,
just thought God, life settle. That's the mantra that our parents taught us.
Yeah, in fact,
Hari mantra.
it looks like a scam for me because when you look at a young guy, who a 30-year-old guy, 35-year-old guy, who is making, let's say, 2 lakhs a month, 3 lakhs a month, if he ends up saving up, and let's say he has like 1 crore of, I call it FU money, that if you have 1 crore, then you can say FU to everyone else and just chill. So if you kind of have that kind of savings, then you can kind of live the life that you want and do what you love to do, because you achieve a level of financial freedom. But see, I have friends who work in IT. They have been in foreign countries. They have earned 3 lakhs a month, 5 lakhs a month, and now they have come back, senior managers, HCL, Wipro, TCS, all these companies, and they make like 2-3 lakhs a month. But they still crib about their job, they still complain. And when you look at their actual lifestyle, I mean, their family and relatives, close relatives, have actually prevented him from having that exit and living the life that he wants, because now he is telling me that he has 4 houses which he has bought, and he's paying EMI for 4 houses because because all your
Yeah, this is what I tell to all my mentees, that people think that they own the house, but actually not true. Houses own them.
on them.
They
Yes,
can't exist.
yes.
They can't live their life. That's so true.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, dude, like, why do you have 4 houses? And in this pandemic, you can't even sell the houses. It's not going to appreciate. That's more like it looks like a conspiracy by the society to, keep you working and keep you running the rat race. So for me, yeah, so that 1 crore number is like a magic number for me. And in fact, I created a infographic, just like you have created, just like you said the math, right?
Mhm.
How many people you want. So these are like the 4 different ways to make 1 crore. You can have a 100 rupee product and get 1 lakh customers, or
Yep.
you can have a 1,000 rupee product and get 10,000 customers, or you
Mhm.
can get a 10,000 rupee product and get 1,000 customers, or a 1 lakh product, you just need 100 customers.
Yeah.
But more often than not, you might not just get these customers falling on your lap, which means that you need to create a funnel. So if you can get 1 lakh customers at 100 rupees, and even if you spend 1 crore to get this and get back 1 crore, then you can expect 10% of them, which is 10,000 customers, to buy a product for 1,000. So even if you get the first two parts of the funnel right, then you can make 1 crore.
Mhm.
Or if you want to even think about spending 1 crore to get 10,000 customers at 1,000 rupees, you can get 10% of this, which is 1,000 customers at 10,000 rupees easily.
Mhm.
So in fact, this is the goal that I give to everyone. This is the infographic that I give you. First make 1 crore, then you will reach a level where you feel like you are financially free. And even if they don't do things like this whole liquidating fixed deposits or anything like that, people can still at least have the confidence to start something, quit, and maybe invest in a area of business which they are passionate about. Because end of the day, happiness comes from doing the work that you love to do, right? 70% of your life is consumed with work. And people basically trade 70% of their time doing a job that they hate so that they can make money. So that, I mean, rest of the 30% may, I think some 10-15% will go away in sleeping anyway. And
Yep.
remaining 10% may they think that, okay, I will go for international vacations, I will buy a luxury car, I will buy a nice house, and then I will make up for the 70% of the thing that I hate with this 10%, and they try to squeeze out happiness by
We've
basically spending money.
we've been just sold lies to live a fake life, borrow
Yes.
things that doesn't we don't actually own, that to just to show off people, put ourselves in a fake happiness, fake situation, unnecessarily putting so much of pressure, like
Yes.
consumerism, right? When the parents said that the ideal life, settled definition of life is, when you're settled, when you're married, you have a house, you have a car, and a wonderful job. You're settled. Actually,
Yes.
that is not true. That
Yeah.
is unsettled life with so much of loans, so much of tension, so much of worry. It is absolutely not settled. So I think that's the myth that I think
Yeah.
most of us we are trying to
Yeah.
debunk now.
We need to think about deriving happiness from the work that we do. And I think once people get there, and that's where I talk about two levels of financial freedom, where if you reach the level one, where you have 1 crore in savings or have some passive income coming in, then you can basically go ahead and start doing what you love to do.
Yeah.
And if you do what you love to do for like 10 years, then you will have the level 2 of financial freedom, where you will have the power to buy anything that you want, and probably you will become 100x richer than what you could do in a job. Because mastery comes from spending like 10,000 hours doing one thing,
Yeah.
right? And how do you spend 10,000 hours or like 10 years of your time doing one thing is that you really enjoy doing it, and then you become like the top person in the world in that particular field. So
Mhm.
for me, I think the journey has started like 3 years back, after I quit my job, where I have enough flexibility to just keep doing what I love to do.
Mhm.
And then probably the level, like right now, I'm not like really looking for wealth, like to really become rich. As long as I have the freedom, as long as I have enough income for my team and myself to have that space, I'm basically, trading space for, the attack that I have to do in the market to be competitive. So I'm basically trading that space by buying that time.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, so now that I'm talking about doing what you love to do and doing what you are passionate about, let's talk about Passionpreneur.
Mhm.
And take us to the journey of how it started and where it is now, and how many people you have impacted, letting people find their passion, and working on what they are passionate about. And also talk a little bit about how did you coin the term passionpreneur, because I think it's a very nice term. And I think right now it has a pretty good brand as a passionpreneur summit and everything. So yeah, over to you.
Yeah, yeah. So while I was in a job, I was looking to get some kind of side hustle, like coaching, training, doing seminars and workshop. I realized one thing, that I'm just like everybody else. Like, oh, I'm a business coach. Oh, I'm a business coach too. Motivational speaker. Oh, I'm me too. All right. Oh, you're a motivational speaker. Oh, me too. Then I realized, who is actually Dev Gadhvi? And if I have to actually thrive in this economy, why would somebody pay me versus there are so many motivational speakers, so many business coaches who have been doing that for more than a decade or so? Why would somebody come to me? Then I realized I'm actually not the business coach. I'm not actually the motivational speaker. I'm not the sales coach. I'm not the social media coach. I'm none of these things. I was trying to coin these terms to, see if I can position myself. I even printed my visiting cards with the sales and social media expert at that time. But then I realized that, I'm just, लाखों की भीड़ में, करोड़ों की भीड़ में एक नया coach आ गया. All right. So I was like, then I realized I'm actually different. I'm actually someone who's passionate about helping people, and I'm also entrepreneur. So I said, let me just do some fusion. Can I come up with some term? Like then I said, okay, passionpreneur. This sounds like me. Okay, it sounds different. It does not sound like a traditional coach. Does not sound like an entrepreneur, like somebody different. Then I started googling, and I saw that nobody was owning that word. Maybe one of the site was there, but not so active, very poor, maybe one podcast in the US, but nobody's using this term. I said, okay, I'm going to term myself passionpreneur. But then I was like, how am I still different? Okay, I'm passionpreneur, but other people can say I'm also passionpreneur. Then I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to train people. I'm not going to consult. I'm not going to coach. I'm actually going to mentor people, because the easier way for me to transform somebody's life is to walk them through step by step, help them execute, not just the information. So that's when I turned the Passionpreneur mentor. So this is how the Passionpreneur mentorship actually started in 2018, when I launched my first campaign, Mastermind. And just to give you a background, so far we have, I think, so far I've coached and trained about 250 to 300 mentees who have gone through the entire process and journey through my mentorship programs. And when I say 250, 300 people, like going back to your example, can you become a crorepati by just having 100 people? Yeah, you can actually make a crore by even just having 200, 300 people, because even if your one person is paying you 3 lakh, 5 lakh rupees, you make it big. So I went to that place, and that's how the passionpreneur journey started. And yeah, all my mentees, most of them have found their passion. A lot of them have been able to quit their jobs. Many of them are becoming, they've become best-selling authors, and they've become business coach and trainers and mentors, and some of them are here as well watching us live. So yeah, this is all the journey how it started.
Fantastic. So, where are you located right now? Do you work out of a full-time office? Do you work from home? What is your thoughts and experience around actually building a team? Because I know that on the surface it sounds simple. I started Passionpreneur, I coined the term, and now it's working. And it's not like that usually, right? You go through a lots of ups and downs. You get things thrown at your face which you never expect, and it takes a long time. And I feel that is the price to pay for entrepreneurs, right? You can't just get to the other side overnight. And obviously there is like dark side to it. So talk about the challenges that you have faced in the journey, and some of the mistakes that you have done, so that we can learn from your mistakes and make sure that we don't repeat them.
Yeah, yeah. I'll share one of the worst time of my entrepreneurship journey. In fact, whether you call worst time of my entrepreneurship journey or life, I was at the lowest point of my life. I coined this one incident. You spoke about the funnels. So, as an first fresh entrepreneur, passionpreneur, I was like, man, I think I know it. I have a followers. I have people who love my content. Let me run the workshop. So I remember first workshop I did. It was in the third week of, third or fourth week of April, when I was just about to quit the job 2 or 3 days in advance, and I had a Gurgaon, Ramada Gurgaon booked, approved 60 seats, all at my expense. Food included, everybody free knowledge, free buffet, everything was free. And these are the followers who've been following me for a long time. About 80 people applied for this the physical full day workshop. There was a Google form, and I shortlisted 60 of them. I said, great, we had 60 seats, I approved 60 people. I reached there one day in advance, booked my flight, hotel, and all that. The next day, I'm here, excited, getting dressed up, and said, this is going to be a big day. It's my launch day. I'm Passionpreneur mentor, first time I'm doing this. And then it was supposed to start at 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, hardly I see less than 10 people. I said, what is happening? I'm getting scared. 11 o'clock, 15 people. I said, man, what is wrong here? And when we started the workshop, almost entire hall is full. Like it was a huge hall with so many round tables and all that. whole, I said, okay, please guys come in the front row. Hardly 20 people showed up. And at the end of the workshop, I realized that this is a difficult journey. Despite me paying money for the hotel, food, giving free knowledge of how you quit your job, build a business, despite they've been following me for so long, I realize I'm overestimating either my capability or other people's hunger. And I remember clearly one incident that when everybody was gone for the break, last break and all, I went to the corner of the hall and I had literally tears in my eyes. Now, just FYI, I'm not an emotionally weak person that will crumble, and I never cry in my life. But that day I had tears in my eyes. Not that having tears makes you weak, but I usually don't cry. And then a lot of things started coming to my mind. I said, man, is this the end of my journey? I quit my job. 3 lakh is not coming in. At the same time, I have 5 more workshop like this. I've already committed and booked in different cities. People are not believing in me. Am I not good enough? Am I going to go back to job? How am I going to provide to my family? People will laugh at me that, oh, passionpreneur, you're doing. Now, what has happened? Humiliation, all the turmoil that happened. Then I said, you know what? I said, I'm sure it's going to become better. So one of my friend was there. I had a chat with him, and that's all it started. So that was the dark phase of my life. And the next workshop that I did was in Pune, which was my hometown. This is where I operate from. This is where I live. I used to go to shared space, but because of corona we locked down. So I have a team of 10 people today, but that time it was just me. In Pune, again, I learned from my lesson that if I have to have 30 people in the room, don't approve just 30 people, approve 60 people, because half of the people will not show up even if they're warm audience. So that funnel warming, I really learned the hard way by spending lakhs of rupees. Pune workshop, I did with full enthusiasm, with red suit and all that. At the end of the workshop, then I asked her, who is willing to join the Passionpreneur Mastermind? After I gave the price and all, 1 second, no hand went up. 2 second, no hand went up. Third second, no. My light started flashing again, blackout. Alert, alert, alert. That luckily one person raised the hand that I would like to join, because it was fees was 1 lakh rupees, though it was 10,000 per month, but it's 1 lakh rupees a big commit at that time for a new coach or a mentor. One hand went up, two hand went up. 11 people said that yes, I want to learn from you, Dave. And out of 11 people, I shortlisted 6 people, which was of course 60,000 recurring. I said, at least rahat ki saans that I am getting somewhere. Some people believe in me. And then I'd completed the entire campaign of 6 physical workshop and 1 online, and that's when I ended up with 33 mentees making 33 lakhs. So that was the dark side of my life.
Yeah, it always feels like you're drowning and then you make some sales. It feels like you pushed a little bit forward and then you took a little bit of breath in.
Yeah.
And then you know that it's going to last for like, maybe a month or two. And then you have to like, keep paddling again.
Yes.
That's very true. And I think when you start the entrepreneurship journey, the emotions are like going all the way up and then going all the way down,
Mhm.
where one day you feel like you are going to conquer the world, and the next day you feel like, okay, your life is ending. And then the peaks and lows start averaging out a little bit. Like 6 months down the line, you don't like get carried away. You still have big dreams, but you don't get carried away and super excited about it.
Yeah, you're
And
grounded now. You're grounded that you can't fly. Initially,
yeah,
you like as a fairy tale. Oh my God, I'll be an entrepreneur. I'll make a lot of money. I'll become successful. Then reality hits you with the punch, and then you're okay. Well, it's gonna be challenging. It's not
yes,
that exciting.
yes,
You're
yes.
right.
So I basically look at this whole thing like imagine that you are just starting out. It's like you are flying a paper plane. It's lightweight. It's easier to go up, but at the same time, the wind can blow you down and you might come crashing down. But 6 months down the line, 1 year down the line, you have a little bit more maturity. You have processes in place. You have systems in place, and you know that this momentum is not going to completely go away. So it's like going from a paper plane to, let's say, uh, drone, and you're now flying a drone has a little bit more stability. Right? I mean, you can still crash down, but it'll still fly. There is like it's a power to it. And then you eventually probably get to like a small plane, and then probably like a small jet. And then eventually, as the business keeps growing, you become like this big fighter jet, where the amount of stability that you have. I mean, like you can't just go and fly overnight also because it is so big. Let's say like a Boeing 737 or let's say Airbus A320. It needs like this lot of momentum to pick up speed, and then it will be more stable. And even if you have thunderstorms and wind, a Airbus A380 or something like that will not be crashed. So that's the way I look at the whole thing, where you also have like multiple engines, where you have like multiple streams of income, and you have like a co-pilot who could be like co-founders, and then you have like your crew, which is like your team, which is taking care of things and everything. So
I,
guys, what do you think about that example?
I think that is a
uh,
brilliant. I love that example. That's a perfect way to
yes.
describe how the entrepreneurship is, how the journey is. That's absolutely true.
Yeah. And maybe yeah, one day you can like, build a rocket like SpaceX and get to another planet. That's when you get to like the $1 billion level, or actually creating an impact where apart from you making money, you have actually gone ahead and created a systemic change in the world that you live in terms of let's say people's behavior. Like for example, when you look at Uber, people's behavior are now changed, right? They can never go back to the previous setup where they go out to the road and call a cab. This is the new way. And just like English language, or anything, like you get accustomed to a certain thing, and that becomes the new norm, right? And entrepreneurs are the ones who create those norms. They delete the old and create the new, and then that becomes the norm where people are like, okay, this is the norm now, and I'm going to just stick there. And then you can never go back to the old one. Like, let's say even if IRCTC website is so slow, you still don't go and book ticket in a platform offline, right?
True.
So yeah, I think that's what entrepreneurship journey is about. Not an easy one, but um, rather than just sitting in a corporate cubicle and sucking it up all your life, I think for me that boredom is much more difficult to manage.
True.
I feel like rather than entrepreneurship as something that will probably give me wealth and freedom, I look at it as a necessity to keep my mind engaged, because certain people have a little bit of rebelliousness in them, and then you have a little bit of sharpness in your mind, and you feel like it's a double-edged sword.
Mm.
If you don't keep cutting something with it, then you will cut yourself. So
That is so
so
true.
that hunger is what defines most entrepreneurs, where you have to keep engaging your mind in some complex tasks, otherwise the boredom is going to kind of do you damage. I think that's where a lot of corporate people, when they feel like that crisis feeling coming in,
Mm.
they end up drinking, or they end up going for parties. And you need something, otherwise life becomes like very boring, right? You need
Yeah,
something.
that's why a lot of people in corporate wait for the Friday, right? Thank God it is Friday. The term was coined for corporate going people that, work hard, slog like donkey for 5 days, and then enjoy your 2 days of freedom.
Yes.
So typically what we're doing, we're bartering our life,
Yes.
5 days of labor for 2 days of freedom, or maybe some people even 1 day of freedom. So that is
Yes.
so true. Very true.
And in fact, I have an app on my phone which gives me the total number of days I have left to live, because most of the people act as if they have forever to live,
Mm.
and they can start living their life once they repay their house loan and car loan or whatever it is. And then life throws you a surprise. You are not healthy, and you are not fit, and you can't enjoy life as much as you were in the younger age, right? So for me, I'm like, for most of the people, the time they have left is around 8,000 to 12,000 days. That's it. And it is counting down every day. So time is the currency, right? Not money. And where you are spending your time, you need to like, have a, look into it. So yeah, now, thinking about and talking about, trying to, have this judicious use of time, doing what you love. I want to ask you about your thoughts and learnings on how do you balance your work life and personal life. And I'm pretty sure you are like a very hard worker, but there is a limit. You can work 16 hours a day also, but you will also kind of let your relationships and health pay a price for it, which in certain cases you cannot, because if you want to think long term, then you need to have a balance.
Yeah.
So how do you try to come back to that balance? Because as an entrepreneur, I still feel like there is no such thing as a work life balance. You either just get swayed with work one way and then try to bring back balance, like, then you realize like, okay, I have to like pull back, and then you start grinding again. So what has been your experience and journey and your
Yeah.
advice on it?
Yeah. So actually, to me also, there is no balance in my life, actually. Everything is extreme. If I'm working hard, I just go deep and working hard for some chunk period of time. If I'm with the family, I want to be with the family, right? So I think there is no balance as such. And here's what I would say to all the people who are looking and seeking to build the life of their dreams, becoming an entrepreneur, becoming a passionpreneur. At the initial few years are the years of sacrifice. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Don't even worry about the balance, and have the honest and open conversation with your family that look, we will have to pay the price. We will have to sacrifice. I will not be able to balance family life and job and then start a business. It's not going to happen. It is going to be a chaos. But I can promise you one thing, after 2, 3 years, we're going to live the life on our own terms and we'll have more choices than we ever had in so many years. And that is exact conversation that I had with my wife. I remember my conversation, I was still in a corporate job in 2016, 17. And I was telling that, my dear, this is the life, give me like 12 months and I'm going to do something crazy, which is going to give us, imagine, like, sales, right? Imagine if I come at home, never have to go to office, don't have to ask for leaves, don't have to just wait for Saturday, Sunday. Imagine how would that life will be. He said, great, great, great. I said, good. But you need to give me at least 12 months for me to be able to build that life. And then, of course, we decided to stay at different places for some time. That time got extended because of, of course, business is not just about 12 months. It took 24 months, and then Corona hit this thing. So we stayed apart for some time. But now we can do what we want, when we want, how we want, because now we have created wealth. Now we created money. Now we have the team, we have the system, we have the process. So now we can go back and becoming extreme in our personal life as well. Initially extreme in business, then extreme in personal life. There is no balance now. Now is the choice. Now, when you work really, really hard, this is what people talk about. Make this money, make this money. So I keep this with me, by the way. I have these are wealth trigger. I just keep money lying on my
Nice.
table here and there. So this doesn't come from balance. This doesn't come from balance. This comes from the complete imbalance in the way you've been doing, because balance was thing of the past, that trade your time, go to job, live for the weekend. No, 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 it's all gone. So my definition is live extreme life, but make sure that you don't ignore one aspect of your life for a long time. Try and go back to it again. Try to go back to again. Like, it's, you cannot just say money and no health. You can't just say health, no money. You can't just say money and health, but no family. You got to have, you have to adjust from time to time, but you can't do all three at the same time. Like, you can't say that, "Okay, I'm going to have health today and family life and business." It will happen, but it will take few years for you to reach there, where you can say F you to anything you want, have, enough money, and you can do what you want. You can retire when you want. So with God's grace, I think I can retire if I want to, but I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Who wants to retire anyway? Like, try doing nothing for like 2 days, right? You'll get bored out of your head. I would pay someone, so that I am not bored.
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Cool. So now that we are almost like an hour into the conversation, I would like to, conclude by talking about, what do you think is your future dream on what you want to do for the world and for yourself, and where do you see yourself 10 years, 20 years down the line, and what drives you? Like, as you said, you can't retire if you want to retire right now, but you won't. So what drives you, and what is the future looking like for you?
Well, what drives me is a very good question. What drives me is getting to the level where I've created a community of crazy, passionate people who are changing the world for good through their unconventional wisdom and becoming legends. This is actually my mission statement, vision statement that I live by every single day, creating a crazy, community of crazy passionate people. Now, if you look at the number, I have a crazy number that I'm looking for, which is transforming 1 billion lives. Now, it may take whole lifetime or maybe 10 lifetime, I don't know. But I want to, keep doing this and keep empowering more and more and more people. I also have initially somebody asked me, so how would you transform 1 billion lives? I said, it's not going to be just me. I'm going to build the army of the people who are also in return going to impact thousands of lives or millions of lives, and compounding effect will come to the family tree, right? Of course, my credit goes to my mentors like Dan Locke and Grant Cardone. So my all impact is going to them. Their all impact will come to me, and their mentees impact will come to them. So I think the 1 billion transformation that is going to happen with the collective effort of the people. And this is what I say to my team and my mentees as well, that you don't have to be loyal to what I do. You don't have to be loyal to my mission. You don't have to be loyal to me, but be loyal to yourself and be loyal to your mission. Because if you're loyal to your mission, automatically you are contributing towards my mission, and it's going to become bigger, bigger thing. So all my mentees, whether it's Amol Kharale, Somdatta Sarkar, Rakesh Rana, Sudhir Kove, or Amit Khanna, and a lot of people are here as well. All of them are contributing to the big picture in their own way, in their own niche, in their own passion. Like Amit Khanna is into storytelling, so he's impacting a lot of people through storytelling. Amol Kanal in version 2.0. So everybody is contributing their own way. So my big vision is creating an entire universe of the people. Like, imagine, can you imagine if everybody, like millions of people, are just following their passion, impacting lives? How beautiful this life will be for
Yes.
everybody. Nobody had to trade the time for money. That's the big aim that I'm aiming for, and that's what drives me every single day.
Interesting. In fact, I recently read somewhere, I don't remember where, that we as a society will have better citizens if everybody is following their crafts. I mean, a country made up of craftsmen and people who follow their passion will make better citizens, because you are not irritated, you are not frustrated all the time, and obviously you will then make good decisions. So fantastic, and Godspeed to you. And I hope that we will see each other on the top. I have a similar vision to try to go ahead and get more people to follow their passion and be self sustaining and be good, citizens overall. So, guys, let us know what you thought about the conversation so far with Dave.
Can I take one question?
Yeah, yeah, sure.
I like Ben's questions. All of you are amazing. Thank you so much, everybody. Amit, Sugita, Santosh, Ayush, everybody. All my a lot of mentees are also here. One question is, if everybody, where did it go? Oh, but you still need employee who will like safe and secure jobs, won't you? Yeah, there will always be employees. That's why there's 1 billion, which is the aim, and not 7.7 billion people becoming passionpreneur. So even if you can impact 1 billion life, but here's what's going to happen, Jayant. Sooner or later, people will realize that trading time for money is not the best thing to do. Even if they are somebody who is an employee, they will not have an employee mindset. So my problem is not with the employees. My problem is the employee mindset, which is doing just enough to survive. That is undervaluing the human potential that we all have. And then when you underutilize your potential, you will not be happy. So changing the thought process from employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset. Even if you don't become an entrepreneur, you can be an intrapreneur. There's a term, if you don't know, just look it up. What is intrapreneur? Somebody who works in the business for the business. Entrepreneurs working on the business for mission and vision. So their entrepreneurship is it's probably heading a department within the business, heading a campaign within the business. So Deepak has a team of 10 plus people. I have 10 plus people. Are they employees? No, they are the entrepreneurs with the liberty of them making mistakes, making decision. The difference between entrepreneur and intrapreneur is entrepreneur puts their life at risk with the money and everything. Intrapreneur does not have to put their life at risk. They just put all the other things at risk, but not the money part. They don't take the bigger risk as an entrepreneur. So you see, we will need both. And at the same time, in next few years, you will see a huge shift, people leaving 9 to 5 job and starting to become consultant freelancers and exchanging value for money and not time for money. So you will see huge shift is going to happen, and Deepak is already creating amazing community of his warriors, right? The digital expert and all the people, SEO experts, the blog experts and all. They're not trading time for money, they're trading value for money. So employees dependency will go drastically down. Today I have half of my, 10 people I on my payroll, which is fine, but I have 10 more people supporting me for ads and graphics, and they're not on payroll, but they're still part of my team. And then we'll have more and more and more that people. So that is the future of work, and that's the future of the industry.
Interesting. Very inspiring, Dave. And thanks for taking out the time for this podcast. I hope the audience enjoyed it. And we will also send this out to the larger audience via email. I will be publishing this on YouTube. So thanks a lot. And we will see you in the next event. I think it's happening on December 9th. And
Yes.
yes,
I'm
so
in
guys,
this
I will be
mind.
mailing you about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I look forward to meeting all of you. Some
Yes.
people are like, I want to learn, Dave. How can I do it? How can I, of course, from my side, how can somebody do step by step by step, finding the passion and building the business around it? So I look forward to that session, Deepak. Thank you so much for this
Fantastic.
opportunity.
Thank
Your
you.
journey
Thank
is
you,
very
Dave.
inspiring. Keep rocking, man.
Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.